Revolutionary greetings to all and sundry, particularly to the people of the once independent state of Southern Cameroons. Today is the 5th of June 2020, and my name is John Ba Akuro. I'm coming to talk today with a very heavy heart. I feel so sad, so depressed that 4 years on, in our battle for freedom, the people, the dictatorial regime of La République du Cameroon still hasn't come to the clear understanding that the lives of the people of the southern Cameroons matter. By day and by night, they continue to prove to us, to demonstrate to us that if we do not fight all the way to the end, until the point where we take back our country, we will never ever live in dignity as a people. My dear people, it is very hurting to understand that a young journalist, just for doing his job, I'm talking here about Samuel Wazizi, just for doing his job, was picked up on the 2nd of August 2019 on trumped up charges of being someone who was doing, what they call it, logistical or providing logistical assistance, or that he was providing some kind of engineering assistance to self-defense volunteers in the southern Cameroons. I mean, with no evidence to back this, simply because he was a brave journalist who called a spade, because he was a brave journalist who said it as it is, who asked the tough questions to whoever, and was very quick to point out whatever he felt wasn't going on right in the society. I'm afraid at one point I really lost my tempo, because this is very disheartening. That after he was picked up in Monya on the 2nd of August 2019, taken to the police, and later whisked off to Yaoundé on the 7th of August, no family member, not even his lawyers, no one was ever allowed to either see or talk to Samuel Wazizi until on the 3rd of May, when news started filtering out that Samuel Wazizi might have been killed. News that eventually got confirmed early this month, that Samuel Wazizi died in military custody. And while all this was going on, the lawyers for Samuel Wazizi kept on at the Buea courts, doing everything possible within the courts in Fako to cause Samuel Wazizi to be brought before the law courts, such that whatever charges were levied against him could be heard. And at no point were the lawyers ever told that Samuel Wazizi was nowhere to be found. At no point was the family ever told that Samuel Wazizi will never ever be seen again. Matters got to a head when journalists of the various unions in the Cameroons decided to take the matter into their hands and to get the administration to account as far as Wazizi is concerned. It is at that point that the administration, from one end to the other, started cleaning their hands. Chief Foyin Kemayan Paul, president of CJA Cameroon and vice president of CJA International for Africa, led a delegation to the office of the colonial governor of the Southwest, Mr. Okalia Bilai Bernard. And from the discussion that followed, Mr. Okalia Bilai Bernard said clean and clear that his hands were clean. He's not involved. He washed his hands and said from the moment they arrested Wazizi in Buea and did everything to took him to Yaoundé, Wazizi was alive. He was safe. He was strong. He was in good health. So he doesn't know what happened from the time they exfiltrated him to Buea, from Buea to Yaoundé. Despite the outcry, the government of Cameroon stayed mute, stayed silent until this day that the military spokesman, they call him Colonel Cyril Serge Atongfak, came out a press release claiming frivolously that Samuel Wazizi had died since the 17th of August and that he died of sepsis. He doesn't just end there. He even claims that from the moment Wazizi was arrested, he was constantly in communication with his family, and that by the time they took him to Yaoundé, they found out that he was sick, and they decided to take him to the military hospital, where they spent their taxpayers' money on him until he died on the 17th of August 2019, and that they did inform the family, and that his family was aware that Samuel Wazizi was already dead, and that they placed his corpse at a mortuary at the same hospital institution where he died. This is 10 months after Samuel Wazizi is supposed to have died. It is today that the government of Cameroon claims that his corpse are preserved at a mortuary in Yaoundé, and that they had waited for the family for 10 months to come collect the corpse because they were aware of his death. But curiously enough, I had the opportunity to follow Equinox News. I followed Equinox News this evening. Family members were interviewed on Equinox, and they have all insisted triumphantly that from the day Samuel Wazizi was picked up, none of them ever communicated with him. None of them were ever allowed to even know where he was. None of them were ever given any account of whatever was happening to Wazizi. The Committee to Protect Journalists specifically spoke to Mrs. Matete Joan Njang, who is his sister-in-law, and she made it again very clear that the family had at no point been informed of whatever was happening to Samuel Wazizi. Yet, we find a statement from the same military spokesman who came out and lied to the world that their administration knew nothing about what happened to children in Gabu on February 14, 2020. We're up to 23 children. We're up to 23 people, including 9 children, were killed in cold blood. This same military spokesman lied to the world that they knew nothing, only to come back after a commission of inquiry was put in place to do a wishy-washy job to protect people, that finally asserted that the Cameroon military was responsible for those atrocious acts. This is the same man today claiming falsely that all what is being said now by journalism associations and all of those things are just an attempt to run down the image of the military of La République du Cameroon. It's just an attempt to demoralize the military that is fighting to protect their territorial integrity. That is just an attempt to rob the government of Cameroon in mud. The same government of Cameroon that refused, that they knew nothing about what happened to children in the far north of their country, where their military took a mother with a baby on her back and shot them dead in cold blood, and even claimed those images were from Mali, until when they were caught hands down, they confessed and admitted. But it is the same pattern. Nothing ever happens to those who were involved. They only claim the people will be brought to book, and nothing ever happens. I want to join my voice to the voices of all the journalists on the ground in the Cameroons to say that justice must be seen to be done to Samuel Wazizi. We need to know what happened exactly to Samuel Wazizi, when exactly he died, and at least they need to present his remains to the family so that he can be given a dignified burial, so that he can be given, some real family honors. This is not only embarrassing, it is shocking. But what is even more is that the world continues to look at this and seem to be helpless. What is even more is that despite all of this, the International Monetary Fund continues to dole out money to the government of Cameroon. Despite this blatant trampling on the rights of the people of the southern Cameroons, The Commonwealth of Nations has not even as much as brought up a motion to call La République du Cameroon to order. My dear people of the once independent state of Southern Cameroon, this is one more evidence, one more piece of evidence that we are on our own. And that if we do not fight, if we do not continue to put up the resistance like people who know that they are on their own, we will never be treated as humans ever again in this life. This is a clarion call I'm throwing out there. I want to take this opportunity to make just a little statement concerning what happened in Bui again. My dear people, I have said this over and over and over again, that these young men who have decided to sacrifice their lives so that we have freedom, they are people's children, they are people's husbands, they are people's parents, they are people's brothers and sisters. We should be careful the way we set them one group against the other to destroy themselves so that we promote our political being. We should be careful with all kinds of hate messages that we are sending across on social media just because we think that we have to promote group hegemony. This is something that is really insane. We should stop it and stop it now and function as a people who realize that we have one cause, that we are all fighting together, who realize that we have one destiny, who realize that we did not bring ourselves together, but we were brought together by the Almighty, who realize that it is only by working together in total collaboration and cooperation that we will make it. I am calling on the people of the Southern Cameroons, on the friends of the people of the Southern Cameroons, on human rights activists on the international scene, on all international organizations that at least still stand by the values they profess to promote, that it is time to call La République du Cameroon to order. It is time to move from just speeches and resolutions and statements to action. If nothing is done, what is happening in La République du Cameroon will definitely soon go out of hands. And this will not be in the interest of anyone around the world. To God be the glory.